Good enough. All right. Light in the background. We are here, and we're going to do this. So today we're going to talk about simple hacks that give you the perfect body. Okay? So, all right, let's do all this stuff. I think. Oh, good. We've got good stuff going on here. We've got good stuff going on here. Bluetooth is. I hope Bluetooth is dead on this thing. Yep. All right. All right, guys. We're going to talk about perfect health, perfect wealth. Your health is your wealth. Your health is your wealth. All right. So there are so many. Okay, how the fuck do we kill this goddamn thing? Is this thing gonna just keep? Let's see here. Probably kill it. Boom. I want to hear it. Yes. And one of the best ways to get rid of a problem is get rid of whatever is letting you know that the problem is there. So if you have a pain in your leg, just cut the leg off. You won't feel it anymore. I'm joking, guys. So today, we're going to talk about how you can create your perfect body. There are some easy hacks, and it's easy, guys. It really simple. It's simple and easy, okay? It's simple and easy. Maybe I shouldn't say easy, because then people are going to think that there's no engagement involved, because when you say easy, people think they don't have to be involved in the process. Okay. Getting my doctorate was, actually, that was not easy. It was simple. Be a sadomasochist for like 4 years. All right. Anyway, so there are so many methods and approaches to health out there. Okay. And there's so many like do this and do that and do this and do that and do this and do that. And then there are all these sad, unhealthy people that are like, oh my God, I tried this method and this one and that one, and it never worked for me. And I'm still 28 pounds overweight and I feel terrible about myself. And I'm just going to keep eating donuts. Okay, you were never interested in getting healthy anyway, so this is not for you. Anyway, hello, Virginia. Oh yeah, Virginia. Hi. And then Jessica, I like the name Jessica. Lauren, welcome. Lauren Klaus. Ubenstein. Lauren Klaus. It's a German name, I think. I think Klaus is a German name. Weinstein! It's not German. It's just me making up gibberish. That's gibberish in Germany and whatever. Ashley, dance. Is that? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Ashley, dance. Oh my God. Are you a ballerina? And then Star saying Lauren. No, it's not. What is Klaus? What is Klaus? Is it Dutch? Lauren will tell me. Jalen 2.0. I'm 5'5". I like you, Jalen. Still not big enough. All right, anyway, Ashley, I'm a dancer. How could you know if it's not German, Lauren Klaus? If Lauren Klaus, you say it's not German, and I'm like, what is it then? I don't know. What the fuck? Maybe it is German, Lauren Klaus. Okay, Ashley says she does acrobatics. Oh my God, so beautiful. All right, Lauren Klaus, I'll give you the first like. Thank you so much, Lauren. Y'all, thank you, Lauren. Today, ladies, we're going to talk about how some simple hacks that are actually going to give you a great body. And by the way, it really, truly is simple to get the great body. To get the good body, that good, sweet body on that wellness. That good, sweet body on that wellness. Oh, yeah. You're a dancer, so you probably have a very good body, Ashley. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she does acro. Thank you. Jazz and hip hop. Oh, my God. You're probably very good. So today we're going to talk about some simple hacks. They're going to help you have the perfect body. It's a geopolitical Christian perspective, apex human perspective. So we're going to get right into it. This is very simple, 5 things, and you will be on your way to having an amazing body. Thank you so much, Ashley. I appreciate it. All right, so people often tell you do this, do that, have this diet, have that diet, be a vegetarian, only eat meat, everything in between. But today we're going to be focusing on the apex human geopolitical Christian perspective as chosen people. Again, this is not the gummy worm Christianity. This is the stuff that actually works. Like the stuff you can apply to life. You can say, oh, well, shit, this works. Why the fuck didn't I use this before? All right. So this is not going to require you to wake up at 4 a.m. to work out 200 times a fucking week or eat grass clippings. You don't have to do any of that, okay? Unless it works for you. Okay, that's the whole message behind this. So I'm not going to recommend a particular supplement or routine or method. Why? Because with the hacks I'm going to share with you in this video, what works for you in those departments will be easily found by you, and it'll be easy for you to get with. So this is a smart, simple approach to perfect health and well-being based on your inner compass, a functioning brain, a GPC perspective, and your apex nature, which is just your optimal self, the best you can be all the time, easily. If you have to work at being your best self or you have to struggle at it, that's not you. You can find your best self and it can click and it'll feel really, really good. All right, so let's see what everybody's saying. Oh, we got some of those cute little piano hand fingers. Oh my God, so cute. All right, ew. Some skincare should work too. Hey, it comes in and goes. All right. Lauren said, would you rather be a fish or an eel? Eel. I don't know, Lauren. What would you rather be? All right, so these 5 steps, anyone and everyone can do them, and let's get into it. So the first step is get back to first principles. First principles. If I say the sky is blue, water is wet, fire is hot, and grass is green, there's always going to be some knuckle brain out there that's going to argue opposite. Well, no, actually, according to this theory, some pseudo-intellectual with cognitive minimalism is going to argue otherwise. So, why? Because society rewards big words and little brains. All right? And that's what's led us to where we are now. Well, they'll tell you things like, oh, drinking a glass of wine every night is good for you. And then they come out later, oops, if you have gout or if you're a functioning human, alcohol is poison. Okay, anybody who has a brain would drink alcohol and be like, yeah, it doesn't work for me, or it does work for me. You know that in yourself. All right, so the modern intellectual has departed from self-evident truths, primary principles, and truths that a 2-year-old chimpanzee could grasp, even without being prompted by a magical banana man. All right, so you don't need to debate reality. You just need to return to it, honor it, and reward it within yourself, and access it within yourself. When you do that, when you go back to your own first principles, life will reward you, your body will reward you, the process or Yahweh will reward you. And again, we're geopolitical Christians, so we don't believe that Yahweh is a sky phantom. We know that Yahweh is the substrate of reality. It's what holds the molecules of this phone and everything together. It's the electrical current, the electrical force. All right. So yeah. Lauren said, cute Lauren. All right. Yes, you're right. Thank you, Ashley. All right. So in Galatians 6 verse 7, it says, whatsoever a person sows, that's what they're going to get. So if you put out certain things, life is going to return that to you. It's not a punitive process. It's just like planting a cucumber seed in the ground and watering it and then, freaking out because cucumbers grew up. Like, that's the way life works. It's a natural law. So you don't need to debate reality. All you have to do is honor it, respect it within your body, within yourself, and your body will reward you abundantly, okay? First principles, let's talk about it for you. First principles, let's get down to the basis. You are you. We can all agree with that. You are you. You're you, right? Right, Ashley? And don't kill yourself. That's bad. Jesus loves you. Okay. I ain't gonna kill myself. I will kill parts of myself that don't serve me. All right. But those parts are pretty much gone. That's what God's brought me through this process. But anyway, first principles, you are you. We can all agree with that. You are you. Okay, there's going to be some idiot, some fucking philosopher out there. Well, according to Strobolovian philosophy, this isn't for you, okay? So the first principles are you are you. Only you can know exactly how you feel. You can feel you. Nobody can feel you but you. These are all first principles. These are things that we have been academically and socially removed from. These are basic principles. Another basic principles. You don't need theory for this. You don't need philosophy. You don't need a path, religion, spirituality. You don't need a workout routine or anything else. Okay? We got to start there with you are you can feel you can experience you. So unless it serves you, you shouldn't do it. So who determines what serves you? You. All right. So this is the first principle. This is one example of it, but there are many, many other first principles, and you can ascertain these things. Why? Because you can look at a mirror and recognize your own body. And so by being able to do that, that's an indication you have the requisite intelligence to create a life that works for you. If God needs the church to make your brain work, if God needs a scientific study to tell you that drinking gasoline is poisonous for your health, then God probably didn't make you well. God messed some things up inside of you, okay? So obviously for everyone, even with people with severe mental cognitive delays, have a basic survival instinct. And an apex Christian, a geopolitical Christian society can cultivate that in the individual. They can say, okay, let's help you and not hinder you. But unfortunately, we live in a society that wants to make gummy worms out of us, and that's okay. Geopolitical Christians, apex humans, transcend that. All right? Take baby steps or big leaps in this first principles process. It's irrelevant. You determine what works best for you. Okay? Ashley says, okay. Are you a doctor? I am a doctor of philosophy. So I'm one of those eggheads that has a PhD, not an MD. All right? But I did work in the medical field for a long time. All right? So anyway, the second thing that will help you to create, so we got the first things out of the way. That's like probably the hardest of all of these. Let's get into the easier stuff. All right. Jordan, hello. Hi. H, you are what? Yeah. All right. So, and human development was an area of focus. So I got a lot of certifications as far as like body and sex and spirituality and all that stuff, because that was my area of research. I created a groundbreaking research study into spirituality, sexuality, and identity for the human. All right, especially for Christians. Okay, so the second thing is to listen to your body and to nature. Okay, ask yourself how you feel within minutes or hours or even a day, as long as a day, of eating a certain thing, of working out in a certain way, of taking certain supplements, or exposing yourself to certain things. Okay. In my experience, certain workout routines do not serve my body, even if they are evidence-based, okay? What happens, so ask yourself, what happens when I eat certain foods? Like, how does my body feel? How do you feel emotionally, okay? What's really behind it, okay? Don't go so deep. Just let it be light and easy. Just check in with yourself. I've had to do this. It helps when you fast for a long time because your body's more sensitive after that. But you can do it after you've had a full meal. You just sit down, okay, I just ate this hamburger with all this cheese and fried stuff on it. How do I feel right now? Do I feel satiated? Do I feel heavy? Do I feel light? Do I feel great? Ask yourself those questions, okay? A lot of us are so habituated to what I call poisonous belly filler that we assume that long-term effects of something that knocks us out are good. Okay, you heard of niggeritis? It's a Southern term. I like to use it because it makes sense and it's not the N-word. But anytime you eat soul food, like a lot of it, notice how you get niggeritis. You eat a bunch of soul food, watch what happens to your body. Immediately you're like, oh Lord, I got so rest. You just want to lay down and go to sleep. That's what they call it, niggeritis. What they call it? I'm a lot older than I look, so some things I know about things that I shouldn't know. There was this old Amos and Andy sketch about these two guys called Sleep and Eat. And it's really racist, but it's really fucking funny. All right, anyway, so when you eat certain foods, ask yourself how you feel. Do you feel energized? Do you feel drained? I have eaten very healthy foods. I've gone to healthy restaurants. And when I eat that veggie meat stuff, I want to pass out. But when I eat elk or deer, I can run a mile. Like shortly after eating, I'm ready to go. I feel energized. I feel like I can go conquer the world. I don't feel like I want to pass out. So I listen to my body, okay? Your body knows, your nervous system knows, even if you've been habituated against it. If you grew up eating soul food, nothing wrong with soul food. Soul food is actually very good for people that work outside all day, okay? But a lot of people that eat it don't work outside all day, so I don't know why the fuck they're still eating it. Ham hocks and pig brains and, ham hocks and pig feet and all that stuff. You probably shouldn't be eating that if you're not working outside all day in the fields. All right. So anyway, your body knows. Your nervous system knows. Listen to that. All right, we got a lot of activity. I want to be a doctor when I grow up. Oh, how old are you, Ashley? You Miss Dancer? You cute little dancer. That's so adorable. Oh, oh. I love girls that dance. I really do. Women females that dance, just like they're so fucking cute. They break my heart. Like literally, I watch them, I tear up. Little girls especially, like little girls dancing, that tears me up. Cause my daughter used to be in Mongolian contortion, and to watch them do their thing was just like, it makes me melt. But then women that dance, I think, are even cuter. But then again, there's a certain branch of woman dancing that doesn't make me sad or emotional at all. It makes me feel other things, but I'm not going to talk about that in this live. So anyway, so going back to listening to your body. Oh, okay. So listening to your body. When it comes to asking yourself and listening to your body, look, I worked in healthcare for a long time, worked in healthcare for a long time. I even taught anatomy and physiology at the college level. And I had this inflammatory response in my lower back, in my abdomen, in my chest, and in my joints that lasted for, a good 15 years plus. It correlated with me getting married, not drawing any conclusions, but I'm just saying I didn't have the pain before I got married. That's all I'm saying. I'm divorced now, so I'm free. But it took years of taking. I took naproxen, which is an anti-inflammatory. It's, I think, an NSAID. It's like a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, I believe. But it was killing my liver and other internal organs of my body. And I took that for years and years. And I started to notice myself degrading and falling apart. And it wasn't until I was literally incapable of making food for myself, because I cooked for myself during that marriage, making food for myself, even though my wife didn't work in those years, when I was incapable of making food for myself and in so much pain that I did not want to eat, that I realized something. Because I actually wasn't eating during those times. Like I would be laying on the ground. I couldn't move. It was hard to breathe, all of that. When I didn't eat, my pain got better. My allergies got better. They actually went away. Now, the pain in a lot of cases went so far low that I could go back to work and start working. At a certain point, one of my doctors took me out of work. He was like, you can't work. Your inflammatory response is too big here. We got to take you out of work. I had CT scans, I had MRIs, I had all kinds of things. They were looking at my insides. They found some things in my back, some discs and stuff like that, herniated discs, things like that. Over the years, I learned that the pain that I was experiencing, the crippling, mind-numbing, soul-crushing pain was was cured by a combination of fasting, sweating workouts, and taking lots of mineralized fluids. That actually cured a lot of the pain within hours or even less than 24 hours, okay? So that was something that my doctors didn't tell me, the medications didn't tell me. Some of the studies showed that after, years later, I realized that fasting helps your body break down a lot of inflammation. So over the years, the pain I was going through that caused me to not be able to eat for a day or two or three, that would just put me in a really bad, dark place, actually was showing me something. My body was telling me something. This is the second point. Listen to your body. Where the naproxen took up to 3 days to drive away the pain, I could stop eating, drink a lot of water, and do a sweating workout that got rid of toxins, and the pain would be subsided within hours or within 24 hours. And so I coupled that with good rest, excessive rage, by the way, because a lot of bodily stuff comes from rage, a lot of pain, a lot of resentment and things in our past, a psychosomatic illness. And so I coupled that with great rest, excessive rage, like I would scream, do all the things I need to do, and lots of nourishment, electrolytes, these sorts of things. And I found that those pains went away. Now, when I realized, let's see what I'm saying. Okay, I'm getting 20 IQ. Oh, Ashley. Okay. Let me say, okay, I'm getting, I'm glad this is helping your IQ, girlfriend. And by the way, when you eat certain ways, your IQ does go up. I can attest to that. I have a very high IQ. And if I eat a certain way, or if I'm putting myself into certain situations, my IQ will drop to average. So like I'll lose 30 points, IQ points in certain situations. But when I'm like in a right place and I'm fasting properly and eating properly, my IQ is where it's supposed to be. All right. So anyway, when I realized now what took my pain resolution and inflammatory resolution to the next level was when I removed the refined sugars and processed breads from my diet. They were the primary culprit. I hit the jackpot. I noticed that the pain went away completely. A lot of things happened. Traveling international and eating holistic foods, rich foods, holistic and rich foods in places like Peru and Costa Rica exposed me to a whole new lifestyle. And also taking dieta and doing things annually and purging myself annually helped my body speak to me more clearly. Now, these are things that I learned through listening to my body, not reading studies, not going to the doctor and saying, no, you do need to go to the physician, nutritionist, whatever, and get your help that you need. Because some of them are actually good. Just find the right ones. But it wasn't all of that that helped me. It was going through some painful things and listening to my body and finding out, okay, I'm doing things that are actually causing me this pain. All right. Taking medication didn't help me. All right. So yeah. Hey, Ashley. Yeah, I'm glad. All right. So that's the next thing is just listen to your body. And sometimes taking a break from eating for like a day or two might help you to hear it more clearly. So just do that. All right. That's the second thing. And by the way, like I have a 6-pack all the time. And that's because I fast regularly and work out every day. Or light workouts. Don't do heavy stuff. Okay. But that feels good to me. You don't need to work out every day. Some people that's terrible for. Don't do that if it's not for you. All right. Point number 3. Cut out what creates anxiety and distress. I'm not talking about eliminating activities first. Like, going to my job causes me anxiety and stress. Well, do this first before you quit your job, okay? Start with identifying and eliminating the thoughts that trigger anxiety and distress around those activities. So that could be your job. Maybe you think about going to work and you feel anxiety and stress, or distress is really the concern. Or you're in a relationship and every time talking to that person gives you anxiety and distress. All right. Well, let's dig into that. There are ideas about who you are that are actually causing the anxiety and the distress. There are ideas about what you're capable of that are causing you anxiety and stress. There are ideas about who you are in relationship to the challenges in your life that are actually causing the anxiety and distress. So I'm going to give you an exercise right now. I'm going to read Ashley's comment. Sometimes when I feel stressed, I go to my room and squish my plushies. Ashley is so fucking cute. You're so cute. How old are you, Ashley? I'm in love with you already. I'm just in love with you. I don't know you. I'm just saying that's my gay side. That's that part of me that's really, really emotional and feminine coming up. I usually hide it. But how old are you? Don't tell me your age if it's a personal thing you don't want to tell me. I always have to caveat that. I'm going to guess your age. You're under 21. I'm so in love with you. All right. Meaning cute love. Like you can be in love with little kids. Like they're super cute. So I think you're cute. And that's very good to do, by the way. I don't want to diminish your process, but it's very good to get that anger out, girlfriend. Get it out. Scream, rage. And women are I'm going to say this. Women are much better at dealing with rage because they got little hands and they can let it out. Men are bigger and more frightening, and so we get arrested or shot when we show a lot of anger. So women are a lot better about processing that. Okay, good, Ashley. Don't share your age with me. Good. Don't share your age if you don't feel comfortable. Very good. Good job. Thank you for keeping that to yourself. And I really want to be big on that. With everybody, we all have consent, and you have to protect your barriers, your borders. So good job. Thank you, Ashley. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to share with you all an exercise that is 5 to 10 minutes and it's very simple. Get a journal and write these things down. You're going to write about what's causing your anxiety. So think about an idea, or going to work, or paying this bill, or whatever it is, or this relationship, or talking to that girl, or talking to that guy. All right. Get a journal and you're going to write something down. Ask yourself how you feel if you knew that you would completely succeed if you approached this thing, going to work, talking to that person you're attracted to, writing that paper, finishing that report, whatever. All right. How would you feel if you were completely confident and you knew without a shadow of a doubt you were going to succeed? Second thing you're going to ask yourself is, Why don't you feel like that right now? So let me give you an example. There's this girl at work and I like her, but I don't feel confident enough to talk to her. All right. What if I knew that talking to her would lead to a wonderful interaction with her, like getting her number, going out on a date? What if I knew that was going to happen if I talked to her? How would I feel? Well, I feel confident. Why don't I feel like that right now? Okay, so that's where we're going to start. How would I feel if I was successful? Why don't I feel that way right now? Okay, the key to your solution is in the answer to that second question. Why don't I feel this way right now? Because that's going to tell you how you see yourself. Okay, and that's going to actually tell you what's really behind the anxiety, the stress, the distress, and the fear. All right, we got a lot of, hey, cool kid, welcome, welcome. Welcome back. James is here. What's up, James? Hello, hello. Ashley says she feels mad because she has school. So go through this exercise. Ask yourself, how would I feel if when I went to school, I was confident, I was successful, I was popular, whatever it is that you want out of school. And then ask yourself, why don't I feel like that right now? And that's going to tell you about how you see yourself. Okay. And if then once you understand this, this is going to be the key. This is going to be the key. Okay. Once you get that answer, that's going to be the key. And then we're going to talk about how to deal with that answer. Okay. Ashley says, why don't I feel like I hungry? Why don't I feel like I hungry? Please explain that for me, Ashley. Oh, please explain that. Lovely Ashley. All right. So then decide what the activity is, and then once you get to the answer of that, ask yourself if doing this thing that you have anxiety about is a distraction or a dysfunction, and if it is, just cut it out. Like, look, for some people, you have enough savings or whatever, you feel confident enough financially that you can say, you know what, I'm going to this job, and every day that I go there, I feel drained after work, I don't feel confident to do the things I need to do, and I'm financially set enough where I can just walk away from it. If you're in that position, like, you got to make your decision. If it's something that's distracting you from your purpose and your pathway in life, then cut it out. Okay? No need to push through garbage that doesn't serve your mission. Okay? And this is point number 3, cut out what creates anxiety and stress. So the first thing is to understand the thoughts, the identity, the feelings that you have that are related to the distress and the anxiety. And then once you identify those, ask yourself if the activities that you're associating with that anxiety are even necessary for you to do. All right? All right, we got a lot of activity. Okay. I want candy. Oh. Well, candy is just a quick and easy source of energy. Your body craves efficient sources of energy. So carbohydrates are a very efficient source of energy. And the human forms have not evolved long enough in relationship with refined sugars. There are plants in the world that you can eat. There's sapote and some of these other plants, they taste like candy. You eat that, and not only are you going to get the quick rush of energy, but you're going to get the fiber, the complex carbohydrates that are located in that, and the vitamins and minerals. And so the nature, natural environment has candy for you growing off of trees. Unfortunately, not all of us have access to that candy because of the locations in which we live. If you live in northern climates, there are plants like cloves, honeysuckles, and others, safe honeysuckles. There's a poisonous version of honeysuckle, but safe honeysuckles and things like that provide you the really quick hit of that carbohydrate energy boost that will allow you to do what you need to do in life and feel really energized. Honey gives you that quick energy boost, but it's a better glycemic index than the refined sugars. So we've evolved along with these really sweet and powerful things, and candy mimics that taste, but also gives you that quick energy to boost. But the problem with the refined sugars is they provide that glycogen, no, not the glycogen, but that glucose source. Unfortunately, it's detached from all the complex nutrients that are associated with it. So complex sugars, these refined sugars are new inventions, and the human body doesn't know how to deal with it. I imagine that in the next 3 or 4 generations, humans are going to evolve a certain response to these complex sugars, like I have, an inflammatory response. And that's what my body does. My body gets really inflamed if I eat a lot of sugars. Like if I eat donuts and things like that consistently, habitually, my body will get so messed up. My innards, but my insides, my guts, my insides, my thoracic cavity, everything will just get really tight, really stiff. I will start to have terrible pains throughout my body. And so that's the human body evolving in response to this this really refined sugars that we are eating. That's in the form of breads, in the form of just about anything we eat. So that's high fructose corn syrup, high fructose corn syrups, things like that, really destructive to bodies like my own. Now some people do well with it, but it's not I don't take it. I stay away from those things. I don't take them into my body at all. Okay. So yeah, a lot of people love candy. Cool Kid says, I don't have school, but I do football and other sports, but I don't start school until August 8th. Oh, you got like another week. Oh, sorry, bro. August 8th. Hey, that's the end of the Lionsgate portal. Wow, Cool Kid. All right, cool. So you're gonna be a whole new person on the other side of that. And I think you were mentioning that your birthday is in this time period, or maybe I'm wrong, but cool. Yeah. And if you do a lot of sports, you're sweating out a lot of these things, and young people that are taking in toxic belly fizzles, which we're going to talk about next, often sweat these things out. And so when your bodies are younger, they are processing things much more rapidly. You have a lot of good hormones flowing through your body, that like testosterone and some of the estrogen molecules that help you to break a lot of this stuff down. So, you start school on the 19th. Okay, on the other side of the portal, Ashley starts school. And Drawing Chaos, welcome back, Drawing Chaos. Awesome, welcome. Thank you for joining again. We're talking about 5 hacks that are easy ways to make yourself have the body of an Adonis, a godlike body. And by the way, everybody has their own body shape, and everybody has, again, if you're morbidly obese, the big part of that is morbid. We don't want that. But if you're a little thick, you're delicious. You're beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. Truly attractive and beautiful. I know a lot of thick girls that are gorgeously, beautifully attractive, and they're very healthy. Okay, so we're not talking about getting yourself to being a toothpick, but we are talking about your ideal healthy body, and it's very simple and very easy to identify that. I'm giving you the primary steps toward that in this video. Okay, Ashley says, fun facts, sugar is in lemon and apple. Yes, but the sugars in lemons and apples are different. And also, original lemons and original apples have different structures chemically than the apples and sugar and lemons that we eat now. The original apples were not as sweet as a Cosmic Crisp, one of my favorite apples, or Gravenstein. The original apples were very tart and full of astringent compounds and tannins, terpenes, things like that, complex molecules within the plant, pardon me if I'm messing this up, that your body would use for itself. And also these things would give your body certain signals to say, oop, too much. So you get a stomach ache after eating too many of the original apples or exposing yourself to the original lemons. Fun fact, the original watermelon was almost indigestible. The modern watermelons are just sugar bombs. But the sugar in plants is usually in the form of fructose and sometimes sucrose and galactose. So other types of sugars. All right, so anyway, keep those things in mind. No need to push through garbage, activities, conversations, relationships that do not serve your mission. And that was number 3, cut out what causes you anxiety and distress. Start with the thoughts, the emotions, and the identity, and then move on to the actions afterwards. If you get rid of the thoughts, the emotions, and identity, everything else will follow. Just like Jesus said in Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all in his righteousness, all these things will be added unto you. He's saying once you get in touch with the basis of power in your life, anything that contradicts it will automatically be removed. All right, so let's move on to number 4. All right, take in power, kick out poison. This is a first principle understanding. Put power into your body. That is nourishment, good thoughts, good relationships, good people. I'm using the word good for simplicity's sake, but I'm saying desirable thoughts, desirable action, desirable foods, desirable nourishment, all of that stuff. And kick out things that are poisons. It's very easy. Everybody knows this. Everybody who's ever drank alcohol or ingested alcohol. First time you drink it, you're like, ugh. What do you think your body's telling you? This is poison. Oh. When I was young, I could drink tons of alcohol. I've had Irish ancestry, so I could throw down some alcohol, okay, and not really be touched by it. But as I've gotten older, my indigenous American side has kicked in, and so I don't touch alcohol. I just don't. Yeah, I have lots of alcohol. I have really nice wines that were given to me by, owners of certain vineyards, because I worked in Sonoma, in Napa County, Napa and Sonoma, beautiful places. But I save those for like very specific occasions. You know, I might have alcohol once every other year in very small amounts. I treat it like a medicine. I try not to touch it. So, but there are people that believe, they've tricked themselves into believing, oh, let me just drink a glass of wine every night and that's okay. And their glass of wine is actually the bottle, right? So, you know, take in power, kick out poison. How? One of the, let me talk to people here, a lot of activity. Okay, okay. You're a running back. That's cool, cool kid. I'm not a beast. I got a six pack and I'm brilliant. And I don't know what that is. Bitterfurt? Oh, I love that. I'm Beautifurt. I love it. I love it. He went in thick boys. He went in big boys. Oh yeah. All right. So, so how do you take in power and kick out poison? The way you've always done it. Okay, that's stop taking in toxins or ingesting poisonous belly filler or gummy worm grub, and sweat out toxins, take in nourishment as treatment. So whenever you're working out, like Cool Kid does, he works out, you probably sweat a lot. And you, of course, you can go and eat the whole soul food after you do that because you sweated out all the toxins, right? But let's go back to the basics, right? So it doesn't take a 5,000 person study to tell you that drinking gasoline is bad for your health. It doesn't take that. You can smell it and you're like, your body knows it, right? Notice babies. Babies are so smart. They're so fucking cute too, but they're so smart, even though they can't talk. If you put something in the front of a baby's mouth and they put it in their mouth, they, you know, their little fat little doogly heads, they put it in little boogly mouths and then they go, like they don't want it. They know what's not good for them. They drink mommy's milk. They know that's good. If you cook certain foods or you do certain things with certain foods, they will happily eat what's good for them. And you take 100 babies and feed them the same food, and not every single one of them is going to like it. Why? Because they know their own bodily constitution. They know that intrinsically and intuitively. And so we have been forced away from that. Billy, eat your broccoli. Sally, eat your potatoes. Jenny, eat your whatever, right? And I get it. We want our kids to be nourished, and I did it to my kids. You know, I forced them to eat a lot of things, and I really regret that. You know, my heart breaks for even remembering that. I really am sorry, my children, for forcing you guys to eat a lot of things you shouldn't have. You know, they were healthy foods, but ultimately, I needed to listen to what you were responding to. And you know one of the things I noticed? When my kids grew the vegetables that they were eating, when they grew vegetables, they ate the vegetables that they grew. My daughter habitually will never eat mushrooms. Something inside of her body tells her that's not for her. And I respect that. And so as I'm older, you know, I was younger, you need to eat your things. And at a certain point, I was like, you know what, why am I forcing my kids to eat these foods? Something's off about it. They know better. And this is when they were young, and I'm glad I did that. My daughter became a vegetarian when she was 4 years old. I told her where chicken came from. She was like, not eating that anymore. And so she just became a vegetarian, still is to this day. And she's extremely healthy, tall, beautiful, strong. That works for her. Fortunately, I woke up early enough to realize, trust how she's saying something about her body. She's like, that's not for me. And she doesn't eat it. Now, the rest of us love to eat living things, but she doesn't. My sister was that way, and other people in my family were that way. They just don't eat, you know, they're vegan. That works for them. Now, I have to take in blood. I'm an apex predator. I gotta eat living things. No, you don't. Don't eat the bunnies. Speaking of which, I need to get some rabbit. I've been craving some rabbit. I need to get some rabbit. There's enough like Middle Easterners, not Middle Easterners, but they, certain cultures sell that meat. I need to go and get some rabbit. Anyway, I digress. All right, Beautifurt. I love that. Ashley says I'm 100. Let's see. Okay, let's read this. You're 10 million. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. You're 10 million years old. Wait. Let's see. Let me count those zeros. On my screen, it's all messed up. You're 10 million years old? Ashley? Oh my God. So young and beautiful. All right. Coca says, beer is nasty. It's just disgusting. Ashley, sure, buddy. What? Yeah. Okay. Somebody's riding their little bikey bike too fast. But yeah, alcohol is definitely disgusting. And I get it. Look, alcohol works for some people. If you come from certain cultures where your ancestors habitually drank that, your body has developed the enzymes and things like that to break it down so it doesn't destroy you. Okay? Everything in moderation. But, you know, listen to your body and trust it. Okay, so Hippocrates said, "Let thy food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food." Okay, you don't need to take a bunch of medicines if you are ingesting the proper nutrients for your body. A word about toxic belly filler. A lot of people don't know what it is because I say it all the time, but I say it all the time, and I'll tell you what it is. Any food that fills you up and turns your brain off and causes your body to go into a coma, and you start to have niggeritis. Okay, niggeritis. It's not the N word because I said itis afterwards. Okay. All right. Anyway, don't go out there and say that in front of a bunch of brothers because it may not work out well for you. Okay. I said itis. I said itis. I swear to God, I said itis. What'd you call me? So don't do that, my white friends. But yeah, niggeritis. If you get niggeritis from eating food, you probably need to stop eating that food. Okay, any food that fills you up and turns your brain off and causes you to pass out, it's killing your body slowly. I'm just gonna tell you. Okay, pretty much all American fast food is gonna give you niggeritis after you eat it, unless you drink a ton of caffeine and it causes you to like be jumped up. Okay, so also some people should never be vegan or vegetarian. And look, like I grew up vegan and I grew up vegetarian up until a certain point. My parents were like, our son isn't growing and he's very skinny. No, I'm joking. I was very tall for my age. But anyway, they realized we needed to get complex, readily available nutrients in our system. And so at around age 10, I started to eat meat. Started with fish and poultry and then them cows. Beef is what's for dinner. And so some people should never be vegan or vegetarian. Okay, I know there's a big rhetoric around vegan, save the planet, blah 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 blah. But I can give you lots of data. I got a master's in integrated resource management associated with agriculture. That's why I wrote a thesis on large scale agriculture, sustainable agriculture, and I'm eventually put that out. It did it in 2015, 10 years ago. But what I found is that the vegan lifestyle is far more destructive to the environment and far more deadly for people because plants produce a lot of toxins that kill you. Okay, but there are some people who are vegans, and typically these sorts of people that get niggeritis really easily. He's the racist. But anyway, equatorial peoples, the dark-skinned people like myself, richly complected people with this kind of hair, tend to do better with a high vegetable, fruit, plant-based diet. Why? Simple evolution. We were designed to live in equatorial regions. What do you have in equatorial regions? Lots and lots of plant-based foods readily available, from mangoes to papaya to all the other stuff that grows around the equator. Lots of nutrient-dense fruits and vegetables and things like that. And so we had access to plant-based foods year-round, and it's so much easier to take a piece of fruit than it is to go and kill a gazelle or some sort of antelope or an elephant or something. Now, we eat a lot of those foods too, but I've noticed that Mauryan-type people, the richly complected people with this kind of hair, tend to do better with vegan foods or plant-based foods, raw plant-based foods. My brothers and sisters from the north, Slavic people, Scandinavians, northern peoples, their ancestors evolved in regions where you didn't have plants for like 6 to 9 months out of the year. So you had to learn how to develop or derive your highest nutrients from the animal based foods, the livers, the kidneys, the meats and the bone marrow and the fats from ungulate animals and herbivores and things like that. So I understand how carnivore diets do a lot of better for my northern brothers and sisters, and I'm part that, mixed, and then it does for more melanated peoples. And that's just a basic evolutionary first principles, thing that you can just look at and notice. So just keep that in mind. Certain food categories are going to be destructive for you. There are a lot of people that look like me that are lactose intolerant, but there are a lot of people that look like me that are lactose loving. And again, that goes back to where are your ancestors from? So, you could be told, eat the carnivore diet, and you come from equatorial peoples and vegan is better for you. Raw vegan is better for you. You could be told, be raw vegan, and you're like, half Mongolian, half German or something like that. Nah, you probably need to be eating meat, brother. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Again, that goes back to listening to your body. Whatever you put in your body, if you notice that you're starting to get that niggeritis, you maybe should stay away from it. Uh, or you feel the opposite. You feel drained and you start to get emaciated and your eyes start looking like this. Oh, I'm a vegan. And then you're like, anemic and your skin is turning like paper pale and your my complexion. You probably need to eat a little bit of meat, brother. All right. So people, just listen to your body. But toxic foods are sometimes going to be healthy food, is what I'm saying. Okay. A lot of it. Yeah. I love bikes. I'm glad, Ashley. Hola, Ashley. Hello, Ashley. Thank you for being here. So yeah, so just stay away from foods that either drain you when you eat them, or or don't give you enough nourishment. When you're eating, we're eating veggie meat. You eat a veggie burger, and then 2 minutes later, or Chinese food. You ever eat Chinese food with all that MSG, and you eat a whole China, you're full and you can't walk, but you're still hungry. Something's wrong with that, right? So just listen to your body. Take in things that are nourishment. Okay. My experience, I notice how my body responds when I eat certain foods. International travel, going to Peru. Look, when I ate food in Peru, God, I felt so good. I felt so light. I felt so good and so like I could eat a full meal, and I'm talking like not much food, and I felt full, and I could run a mile. Now I was at 7 to 10,000 feet above sea level, so there was that. But I still felt really good. I felt amazing. All right. So I've noticed also when I eat certain foods, I get depressed. I feel like giving up on life, and I feel really bad. And that happens when I eat the poisonous belly filler. Fried chickens from, I don't know, look at me. Fried chicken's supposed to be my staple diet. Watermelon, ugh. I cannot eat watermelon. I don't love watermelon, but I could totally live without it. I could go the rest of my life without eating it. I can't say that because I kind of like watermelon. But that's supposed to be my staple diet. I'm telling you, people look like me. We're supposed to eat watermelon. If I eat a certain amount, like if I get past like 2 or 3 pieces of watermelon, I start to get sick. Like literally, I feel my saliva in my mouth feels weird. I feel sick and nauseated. I know that I can't eat a lot of watermelon. I know. That's my white side. None of my parents are white. It's just my great grandparents were white. So anyway, that's the white side of me that can't eat the watermelon, okay? But I noticed that even though watermelon is very healthy, very nutritious, very good for you, for a lot of people, they think that it's not so great for everybody. So you got to check in with your body, all right? So I love poke, fresh raw fish, even raw beef and raw other animal meats. I've eaten that and I felt amazing. I felt really good. Why? Because my blood type, my constitution, my design. My divine design determines that. So again, check in with your body. You will know when it's poison. You'll know when it's toxin. All right. All right. We got Jordan's saying, how many people you trust? Like wondering. I only trust one person. God. No, me. God. Same thing. No. I mean, it is. We are God in our own experience. That's what I'm talking about. Going back to you are the one who determines your experience. And so I trust myself to pick people that are trustworthy. I'll put it that way. All right. How many? Yeah. I just trust one person. I trust me to pick people that are trustworthy. And if my gut tells me that person's not trustworthy, then I don't trust them. And so I also trust people to tell me who they are. If a person acts a certain way, I'm going to respect that. If a person says I love you but shows they don't, I'm going to be like, all right, you say what you want, but I'm paying attention to your actions. All right. So anyway, I avoid... anytime I eat a lot of certain foods, I'll notice in my body immediately it starts to get weird. And so I listen to that, is what I'm saying. I avoid toxins such as alcohol or any types of substances like drugs that can actually destroy my mind. Now, I'm a psychonaut, okay? I occasionally imbibe in those substances, and I love them. I enjoy them. But I also listen to my body. For those of you adults out there, I'm not the subject. If you're a kid, do not do any types of substances that take away your ability to cognitate or to think properly. Do not do drugs. Okay, I'm not encouraging that, but I'm just saying of my experience, because I know there's some kids in the audience. I know that taking alcohol and certain substances doesn't work for me. Now, I do imbibe in certain substances from time to time, but I listen to my body. I'm not going to read a study from Johns Hopkins that says, "Oh, psilocybin's good for your brain," blah, 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 and then go and take it and think, and then notice, "Oh, I don't feel so good 5 days afterwards or 3 days after, habitually, consistently," and then be like, "Oh, I need to keep taking it because Johns Hopkins says that, the psilocybin in it is helpful for my brain." I don't give a fuck what the study says. I know what my body says. I'm not going to do that. So I have to listen to my body and respect it, and I do that now. And so I only imbibe very minimally, uh, and I encourage you not to take these substances until you have a safe, secure, legal method to do that and a safe community that you can do that with. I do, and I do trust certain people because I have a community around that. All right, so anyway, safe, international travel, things like that, where you can do it safely and legally. All right, as a geopolitical Christian, I avoid anything that blunts my perception and leads to patterns, mental patterns that enslave me to systems or people that are beneath my apex calling. Okay, and so I really don't trust much people that much. That's good, and that's probably smart, Jordan. You probably shouldn't trust anybody. And I know that's paranoia, so I take that back. Let me say that more clearly. Pardon me. You should trust people that demonstrate their trustworthiness, hands down. And if you don't trust many people, that just means you're smart. You have a good functioning brain. I was encouraged to put my confidence in people that didn't have my best interests in mind. And as a child, I knew when someone was unsafe. All right, I knew that. Little kids, watch little kids. They know when people are not for them. Kids love me. Okay, little kids love me. They really love me, especially little babies. They always look at me like little cute little googly eyes. They love me because I'm me. I'm great, right? But not every kid likes me. Most kids do, though. I'll say 9 out of 10 kids do. But there'd be that one kid that like, I don't know about you. And you know what? Whenever their parents say, "Oh no, Billy, Sally, you should be nice to him," I say, in front of the kid, I say, "No, no, no, no. They're right. There's something about me that's not good for them." And I respect that. And I always let people know I'm never offended when a kid's like, I don't like you. I'm like, good. We need more kids like that. Not more kids that don't like me, but more kids that know what's for them and what's not. I know my personality is caustic to some people. There are girls that beg me to be around them and with them, and I'm like, bitch, you don't fucking know. If I was my full self around you, you would be traumatized. And I respect that about myself and love that about myself because I'm a tiger. And we eat people like you. I'm not saying I'm a cannibal. You get what I'm saying? I'm being metaphorical here. What I'm saying is I have a personality that I respect and love, okay? And I know that certain people, doesn't matter how much they like or want to be around me, I'm going to hurt them, okay? Not because I'm trying to, but because I'm being myself. And I will say fuck, shit, piss, all the other things, and they get hurt when they hear profanity. Nothing wrong with them. Nothing wrong with me. We're two different animals from two different ecosystems. I'm a tiger, a really rare large cat, apex predator, and they are a beautiful butterfly or some sort of deer, okay? So, always trust your gut, and it's very good, Jordan, that you don't trust everybody. Trust yourself and yourself alone, and yourself will tell you who's trustworthy or not. And that includes me. There may be some things I'm saying here, you be like, then trust that. And I'm so okay with people leaving because they don't trust me and they don't think I'm right. I'm okay with that because I trust the Most High, the source being, the God of all gods, Yahweh, okay? Atum, Atman, Allah, call it whatever. I trust that, okay? So who's for me, it will come to me. Who's not for me, will go away. And God bless them. And I'll cuss them out on the way out. I don't care. I'm being an asshole, but I love me, so I ain't got a problem with it. Anyway, so as a geopolitical Christian, it's profoundly sinful to ever do anything that harms my beautiful divine temple, my body. I have learned to love foods that fill me with power, pleasure, and delicious nutrients. I drink, oh my God, guys, I'm going to show you my food routine one of these days. I have this shake that I make. It is ecstasy. Not real ecstasy, okay? I'm not taking MDMA or ecstasy or anything like that. I have, and it's great, but I fucking don't take that. I don't do that, okay? I've done it a couple times, and I'm like, okay, this is how I feel all the time. Why am I taking a drug? I can feel like this all the time on my own. It's another thing. Don't take drugs, because all those drugs that you take, your body can do that stuff. You just got to use the right meditative techniques and think right and eat right, and your body can give you all of those highs. DMT, psilocybin, LSD, all that stuff your body can do with the right meditation. I know that for a fact, because I've done it. I've done both, okay? So all I'm saying is don't take drugs, is what I'm saying. You learn your body first, take some other methods, and then do that. Unless it's for, anyway. All right, so I eat certain things, I drink certain things. I drink salt water every day, and that is delicious to me. Oh, it feels so good. I drink beet water juice every day. I love it. Oh, when I take it, it just feels like drinking heaven, right? But back when I was filling myself with poisonous belly filler, I would have been like, oh, this is a little salty. Oh, this is a little this is a little that. Nope. My brain is working now. My tongue is good now. Okay? So anyway, pause. Sorry, guys. All right. So these aren't just profound truths. These aren't profound truths, what I'm sharing you. These are just obvious observations. And this is the suffering I've gone through, which was not necessary, but the pain and the torment that I experienced in my life, God took me through that. The Most High God, not the gummy worm they teach you about in church, but the Most High being took me through this. The Great Spirit took me through this so that I could see the deliciousness of a life that is full. Jesus said, Jesus said, trust the creator source to give you all you need so that your joy will be full. He said that in Mark 15. Yeah, Mark 15. Luke 15, excuse me, Luke 15. Okay? So these are not profound truths, what I'm sharing here. This is just obvious observations. You already know what nourishes your body. Okay? Don't subscribe to my methodology or any methodology, because if it works for somebody else, it works for them. You have to try it and see if it works for you. Listen to your inner voice. Let it guide you to all truth. All the workout routines you need, you can find on your own. And they're going to be easy. They're going to feel good. Okay? All the supplements you need, you can find on your own when you listen to your inner voice. All right? James 1, 5-8 says, let the process, let the source code, let God lead you to all wisdom. Because God doesn't hold any wisdom away from you. God speaks to you through your own understanding. And so God will only give you wisdom, though, if you come boldly and do not waver in your asking. You say, source, inner being, higher power, intelligence that runs reality. Show me what I need to do to make my body work right and feel good in my body. Okay? And all of that will be given to you. You'll find the right YouTube videos. You'll find my videos, and you'll find your own path. All right? So let the source being tell you. You don't need a PhD like me. You don't need an MD like some of my colleagues and friends. You don't need a 10-year and longitudinal study with 5,000 participants to tell you that drinking gasoline is bad. Okay? All of this stuff is really self-evident, self-intuitive, okay? Intuitive truths are always, 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 always better, stronger, more powerful than institutional studies or institutional approval. Always, always, always. I can tell you, listen, there are certain medications on the counter like Motrin or ibuprofen that kill like close to 100,000 people every year. So there's studies that say that it's a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory and NSAIDs. Yeah, okay, but it kills people every year. Look up the studies. And here I am just like contradicting myself. But I'm saying if you need that kind of validation, you don't need me to tell you that. What I'm saying is there are lots of things that are prescribed to people, given to people as a solution that are actually deadly for you. You've got to listen to your inner being. Your inner being doesn't want you to die. It'll tell you how to get to what's right. Okay? Thank you all for staying with me. Here we are to the final point, and I've got to go. All right? Where are we at? Oh, shucks. We're at 57 minutes. These are long, but they're good. They're useful, and I like it. I'll listen to them later. I remind myself of my greatness in God, Jesus. All right. Jesus, the real Jesus. All right. So the fifth point to understand is that pleasure, that one has a tiny penis. There's empirical evidence that one has a tiny penis. You heard that car? There's a tiny penis driving it. Okay? That's a symptom of micropenis. When you drive like that, micropenis. So anyway, the fifth thing to understand to create a perfect body is to understand that pleasure always leads to health. What? Well, when those people take all those coakley-dokley drugs and things like that, isn't that pleasure? No, that's not pleasure. That's gratification. Most people lack the requisite intelligence to understand and distinguish between pleasure and gratification. Pleasure is a gift from the Most High God, from the source being, from your genome, from the intelligence that dwells in your cells in your body. That's pleasure. Pleasure is going to lead you to all truth and good things and desirable, beneficial things. Gratification doesn't. Okay? So we have to be able to tease those two apart. And Anton LaVey was very good about that. He talked about the difference between compulsion and, oh God, what was the other word he used? Indulgence. He said we should indulge, but not use compulsion. Then you really should indulge. Okay? Indulge in working out that feels good. That means when you're experiencing indulgence, and Anton LaVey brought this. Yes, I'm a Christian and I admire Anton LaVey, and I always point out his positive things because it's about stuff that works, not about rhetoric. I don't give a fuck about rhetoric because you can have faith and have rhetoric all the day long. Jesus himself said, faith without works is dead. I mean, Paul says that, but whatever. He said that in Hebrews. Anyway, or Romans. So Anton LaVey said, indulgence is where the real power is. And this is pleasure. So I'm going to give you an example. I indulge in drinking my nutrient-filled waters. When I drink it, it's like orgasmic. I put my Celtic sea salt in there. I throw some beetroot powder in there. I throw in pantothenic acid and all these other supplements that work for my body, B12, all these others. And I add spring filtered delicious water to it, shake it up, and throw that down. And when I drink it, I'm not just go. Tiny penis. I don't just go down. I indulge in the pleasure. I'm thirsty. I've been sweating. I drink it and I go. I just feel the fluid pause. I feel the delicious electrolyte, nutrient-filled fluids filling my cells, filling my body, and it feels so good. Life is orgasmic. And so when I'm doing that, what am I doing? I'm taking time to tell my cells to open up those cellular membranes, allow that rich, delicious, magnesium-filled Celtic sea salt and beetroot powder and all of that stuff to go into my cells and to drive out anything that is not for me, right? That's what I'm telling my body to do. And I've noticed that when I drink water, it destroys my body. The bottled water, ugh. I get dehydrated when I drink water. That's why I always add my Celtic sea salt and filter and all that stuff. God showed me to do that. And guess how he showed me? Not through magical floating voices in the ethers, but through YouTube, through studies that I found that aligned with what I was looking for. Okay? I didn't go read a study first and then figure it out. No, I noticed that adding salt and lemon to my water did good things for me. Because my mom taught me that. She added salt to our water and it helped us with when we were sick. And so she knew that wisdom. And my dad told us, drink vitamin C. He would always give us vitamin C tablets this big that made your mouth like invert because it was so sour. My dad and mom were really good about health. They helped me too when I was a kid. But I had to take my own journey. But all I'm saying is let pleasure and indulgence be the basis of health. That's how this is the biggest one. That's why I left it to the last. For those of you who stayed, God bless you guys. Thank you. But let indulgence in pleasure be the basis of health. Nothing will stop you from having a six-pack if that's what you want. I tend to like women with a little bit of six-pack, but I like women with soft abdomens. Oh, delicious. Anyway, pardon me, guys. Don't get bad on me here. I'm talking about how beautiful she looks. Okay, I'm not being weird. Yeah, I am. I'm being real fucking weird. Sorry, guys. Am I really sorry? No. Yeah, I am. Because I don't want to be a weirdo, because there are kids here. All I'm saying is I like it when women are soft. Okay? But this is for adults, and I made that clear when I made the video. So, kids, if you're here, it's not my fault you're being exposed to stuff you shouldn't be. Parents will tell you you're not supposed to be watching that stuff. Let's get done with this talk. All right, so, yeah, indulge in pleasure. That's going to be the basis of health. If your working out feels delicious, like for me, cold plunges, I love them. Love them. I take a cold shower every morning and night. And when I do go to the gym, my gym has a cold plunge. I get in that cold plunge. And I'm talking, it's like, I think it's 40, somewhere between 40 and 50 degrees. It's almost ice. And it's like, I can sit in there for 10 minutes. I used to sit in the cold plunge, the ice plunge for 16 minutes. That was too much because it took like an hour to warm up afterwards. But I'll go 5 to 8, 10 minutes and I love it. It's just like delicious. When I get in there, it feels so good. And it helps me. It makes my body amazing. And whenever I feel depressed or sad or whatever, one of the reasons I felt so dark that other day because I hadn't had a cold plunge in a while. But I do ice showers every day. But one of the ways that I help to keep the good emotions and the good body and good testosterone going is I get in that cold plunge. If I ever feel really bad, I know my mind is off. My body's telling me, get in the cold water. And so my Nordic ancestors, Germanic ancestors, thank you guys for the genetic ability to do that. I love them and thank them for that. All right, so anyway, suffering is often smuggled through the portal of gratification. And so, gratification, people think that, well, if I do pleasurable things, it's going to be bad for my health. Not true at all. Pleasure is always going to lead to health. Always, 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 because your body knows what it wants. When you're eating sugar, refined sugars, that's gratification. It's not pleasure. Pleasure is a holistic measure. Gratification is like happiness. It's fleeting. You know, people want to live a happy life, pursuit of happiness. Don't pursue that, because I can give you, I know some pills I can give you right now that'll make you happier than you've ever been in your life. But until the come down is going to be hell. Okay. I don't have those pills because I don't keep that stuff in my life. But I know people that know people that know people that know people. Okay. All I'm saying is I'm a burner, so I know people. All right. All I'm saying is suffering can come through the portal of gratification. So a lot of people think that I'm going to cut my suffering by taking this drug or doing this thing or sleeping with this person. And what happens is they're feeling happy. And guess what? The comeback, the rubber band effect, it's going to be worse. And that's why I don't do drugs and things like that, because if you take certain substances, they feel good for like 5, 6, 7, whatever hours, and then guess what, for the next day, 2, 3, 5, 10, you feel like trash until you get that hit again. That is not pleasure. That is not indulgence. Believe it or not, I'm not gonna get into that, but okay. So pleasure is joy. It's holistic. It's lasting. It gets in your bones. It gets in your cells. It gets in your body. And it comes from, I keep doing this. That's not where God is. But I'm just doing that for effect. It comes from the Most High. It comes from the Most High. It comes from the highest version of yourself. It comes from God Almighty. It comes from the source code. Okay? It comes from the data stream from which reality is rendered. So I worked with anesthesiologists for 17 years. 17 years. I was a surgical technologist for many years. All right. And among them, along with psychiatrists, they're the gods of emotional control through chemistry. Okay. One of the anesthesiologists I work with, brilliant guy from the Caribbean, he used to joke. He said, if you want happiness, come to me, because I can control whether you're happy or not. And he was absolutely right. Okay. They can give you happiness in the form of an injection, a pill, an IV drip. Okay. They can induce states of consciousness with compounds, all right? But is that lasting satisfaction? Even a psychiatrist and an anesthesiologist will tell you that there's no drug on the planet that will give you joy, satisfaction, or lasting fulfillment, okay? Pleasure is the path to joy, satisfaction, fulfillment. It is the basis of real health. That's why I left this for last. It's the feeling of alignment, energy, nourishment, and wholeness. Wholeness. Pleasure leads us toward wholeness. Okay? It is a feeling. So ask yourself these questions. If you feel satisfied and elevated when you eat certain foods, when you engage in certain activities, when you expose yourself to certain conversations, communities, and people, do you feel joy, satisfaction, fulfillment, confidence, wholeness, and serenity when you expose yourself to certain foods, substances, activities, consciousness, identities, all these sorts of things? If so, you're on the optimal path to awakening your apex self. If not, you might need to change some things. Why do you think I got rid of the Black and African American identity? First of all, it doesn't make any sense. It's not historically accurate. So I threw that in the trash. And I went, did some research, called my grandfather, talked to my dad, called all these people over the years. It took 30 years for me to remember I was Marian. And now I'm Marian. I mean, I've always been Marian, but there was a period of time where I thought I was a Black American, right? I always do that. I really am pejorative toward that culture because I know who I am and where I came from, and I respect that. And anybody, any time that I take on an identity that causes me to feel low, or take on activities that cause me to feel low, I know that I am deviating from my apex nature. Now, there is a time where you do go through darkness, and there's a part of yourself you got to find. Pleasure will take you there. And that's why when I go through dark moments, I don't run away from them, because I know my greatest power is on the other side of that cloud. And so I go through the darkness. And you see, I'm stronger than I was before I went through that real dark period a couple days ago. I'm more charismatic, I'm more beautiful, I'm more powerful, I'm more amazing. I'm more self-loving, okay? And then the dark days will come ahead, of course. And guess what? Because I beat that dark day and I stayed in it, I'm going to kill those dark days too. It is what it is, all right? I'm a Tiger. That's what we do. We're fucking killers. In the metaphorical sense, all right? So, Align yourself with activities. If you're working out and you feel depressed every time you go to the gym, I've seen so many people go to the gym, they walking in like this. Why are you working out? Stop. Just don't do it. Okay? Be nice to yourself. All right? Find another activity. You know what my dad told me? He said, well, I was a teenager. I had to talk with him. He told me to talk, right? Some of you kids out there haven't had to talk yet, so cover your ears. I already made this video not for kids. So if you're a kid in here, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm going to try and serve you in the highest way, most high way. But anyway, my dad told me, look, son, life is sex. He said, sex is exercise. And exercise, he said, sex is exercise. It's sexercise. He told me when I was a teenager. And he was fucking right. He was absolutely right. He was right. I'm not going to deny it. He was absolutely right. And so, this is the thing. There are various ways for you to get your workout, okay? No, again, kids, cover your ears. I'm not talking to you. For the adults that are watching this, there are other ways for you to get your workout. There are people that hunt. There are people that never work out, and they have a six-pack, and they're muscly, because they work on a farm, or they love it, or they do whatever, right? There's so many ways to get your workout on. And I just put that out there for fun, for laughs sakes. But yeah, there are different ways. And look, every time I go to Burning Man, I can tell you for a fact, I already have a 6-pack, but I get an 8-pack. I get an 8-pack. Like, I'm just like, well, shit, I didn't know those muscles were there, because I'm walking around all the time, riding my bike everywhere, eating damn little to nothing, dancing all night, all the time, 7 nights a week. It's a life. All right. It's a lifestyle. So, but keep that in mind. So if you're doing things that hurt you to get better, like literally hurt you, like your soul is like, stop, please stop, then understand there's, 1,000 ways to skin a pig. I don't believe in skinning cats. All right. There's 1,000 ways to skin a pig. All right. So anyway, finally and foremost, and end of all things, I know I said this a million times. Thank you guys who stayed to the end. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thanks for the likes and the love. All right. So finally, I'm going to put this bonus note out there. This is for you. This is for those of you who are old. Big quotes. Aging is not real. Okay. And I can give you studies to demonstrate that, but I'm just going to use first principles and self-evident facts for you to know this. Okay. If aging was real, which it's not, it's a concept, it's bullshit. Everybody that hit age 50 would be decrepit, would start to have wrinkles. Their skin would be all fucked up, and they would start to, but some people have better genetics. Bullshit. I know people with every type of genetics, 65 years old, not a single wrinkle. And I'm talking, but black don't crack. I don't know any black people. What the fuck are you talking about? They don't exist. Magical people, yeah, of course magical people don't crack. But, look, I know people from Northern Europe in their 60s. And I know this for a fact, because I used to go to events where I would see, okay, so I'm a naturist, and that's all I'm going to put it at. We like to walk around without clothes on in places where there are no children, okay? Let's keep that clear. I had a scary moment one day, but we're going to leave that story for another video. But I go to those communities. I haven't been in a while, but all I'm saying is, I know people from Northern Europe in their 60s, not a wrinkle on their body, and they are gorgeous and tanned and look like they're in their 40s. But no, I know they're much older than that. So you're going to tell me genetics makes you wrinkle? Genetics? It's not genetics, it's heredity. So there's a difference. So heredity is you around a bunch of losers, they called your family, and you pick up the mental patterns and the behavior patterns of those people. You replicate their patterns. You replicate their results. That's called heredity. Genetics is, you can rewrite your code. You can rewrite your genetics. It's called epigenetics. Anyway, I digress. So, but I want to say this real quick thing. A note about getting old. Getting old is a farce. It's a scam. It's not real. Okay? When humans remember these first principles, I shared with you these first 5 principles, okay? The basic intelligence that's built in your body will lead you toward the nourishment that's going to help you. I know this girl, okay? We used to do ayahuasca together, and she's a descendant of George Washington. I navigate in very high level circles. Okay? I play with the 1%. All right, and so anyway, we used to do ayahuasca together. Gorgeous woman. She was in her 40s, close to 50s, and she didn't look a day past mid-20s. White girl, descendant of George Washington. Sorry, I shouldn't have. I'm not going to say anything other than that. I'm not identifying people. I'm not trying to identify people here. What I'm saying is I played with people in the 1%. Didn't look a day past 25, 26, 27 maybe. In her 40s, close to 50. White girl is what I'm saying. And they tell you all this stuff about genetics and black don't crack and Asians don't wrinkle and all this stuff. That's bullshit. Don't buy the lies. Aging is a farce, okay? I'm 278 years old. I don't got a crack on my face. I'm fucking with you. I'm in my 40s. I'm in my 40s, okay? All right. So when humans remember those first principles and the basic intelligence is built into the very nature of our being, that is the Most High God, that is Yahweh, that is the process, that is what the Bible is talking about for us geopolitical Christians. You start to put nourishment first. You start to put pleasure first. You start avoiding toxins and poisons because your body knows. When someone puts out a piece of meat, you're going to go, mm-mm. Or you're going to say, oh, that's for me, right? The means to finding what you need, the right exercises, the right routines, the right whatever, the right supplements is going to come to you. You're going to find that on your own. I found pearl powder. I haven't taken it in a while. I'm going to start taking it again. As a matter of fact, I need to order it. But pearl powder is amazing. It made my body feel amazing. Who knew you could eat pearls? Yeah, the ones that come out of oysters. That's a high nutrient for your skin and for everything. I'm going to get on it. All right. So notice how fucked up domesticated animals look in nature, in the zoo. You ever watch those like animals that live in like the zoo? I hate zoos, but you watch the animals in the zoo. They may live like 2 or 3 years longer than the animal in the wild, but they look like, I'm sorry, they look like trash. I love animals in the zoo. I love animals in the zoo. I really do love zoo animals. I feel sorry for them, but they don't look like the wild animals. And some of the wild animals look like trash. What I'm saying is the wild animals are not eating the belly filler that they feed them at the zoo. And yeah, the animals in the zoo might last a year or two longer, but they fall apart. They start to get these weird diseases. You ever heard of like a wild animal cancer? That doesn't exist. I mean, it might. I don't know. I haven't done the research. But all I can tell you is I don't think they live long enough to get cancer, but they get killed by another wild animal. They live better lives is what I'm trying to say here, okay? You don't usually see animals in the wild with like cancer and chronic diseases. One, because they get killed, but also because they're eating things that nourish their bodies and they're respecting their divine design. Okay, so some species do die in captivity because of the stuff we're feeding. I mean, look at people's animals. You ever seen those little dogs, those cute little dogs? I love little dogs, but some of them look like their owners. They look like these little fattened up swallow. You seen those little chihuahuas? They look like bratwurst sausages. Maybe they'll look like those, but they look like they they look like those pieces of meat that are they look like bologna with like toothpicks. They look like bologna if you stuck some like chopsticks in them for legs. They look terrible is what I'm saying. They look like they're gonna pop soon, and so that's because they're eating the food that they make here, you know, the poisonous belly filler. And, you know, they're little dumb dogs. And so they're not wolves. They're not going to smell it and not eat it and starve before they eat it. They eat it because they don't know. And so aging is a farce, and it's often a result of taking in toxins and not letting those toxins out, okay? It's tempting to think, oh, I'm getting old. That's why I have this ache, or that's why, hey, what's up? What's up, Juju? I love Juju. That's part of my family's you know, history, boy. We were juju witch doctors and stuff. Anyway, we you know, from the South, juju witch doctors, Choctaw people, the Hichitis. Anyway, I got off track anyway. The idea of getting old and decrepit and falling apart is a bullshit farce. Okay? Oh, I have aches and pains because I'm getting old, and this and that because I'm getting old. Social pressures and things like that, and oh, I'm wrinkling up, and people, I get gray hair and stuff like that. It's bullshit. Consider the following. Are you daily ingesting poisonous, toxic belly filler? Are you eating gummy worm belly filler? Are you digesting self-negating, disaffirming thoughts and emotions? Are you identifying yourself with being old and decrepit? If you are, perhaps change those things first and see how it goes. I know all of us can live well into our 120th year of life. I know we can. I know we can. I know we can. And I'm not talking sitting in a nursing home rotting away. I think nursing homes should be outlawed, by the way. You know, and as Geopolitical Christian Apex Human, we're going to create a future where you don't need nursing homes anywhere. All the elders of the community are out there dealing with people and interacting with life and giving their wisdom back to humanity. We need that. But as it is right now, we stuff our best and brightest members of society in nursing homes and drug them up until they die, which is really, it should be an international crime. Anyway, we're going to work on that. Working on it. But perhaps consider changing the toxins you're putting in your body. And toxin does not mean just necessarily McDonald's and Burger King. Toxins could be vegan food. I've seen vegans that don't need to be vegans. They're not vegans, they're schmegans. They're dying. They're dying. They need to eat a goddamn steak. We need to give them a piece of chicken. They are dying. Okay, stop it. So they need to be eating meat. All right. So so think about what you're putting in yourself. I need to shut this down. Are you digesting self-negating thoughts? Are you ingesting toxic belly filler? Are you identifying yourself with identities that tear you down? If you're doing those three things, perhaps change those patterns. Put in foods that feel really delicious to your body. When you take it, oh, your body goes, yes. And when you think in thoughts, your body goes, yes, I can do it. I can go out there. I can conquer it. I'm a killer. I'm a winner. I'm successful. I'm victorious. And again, if you feel like shit, deal with those thoughts too. Don't go run away from them. But imagine how much stronger you are when you feel those dark thoughts come and you say, let's go, motherfucker. Let's face this. Let's deal with it. Like I did a couple days ago. Say, look, I feel like shit. My fucking life is misery. How you feeling? I feel like fucking shit. I feel like misery. I didn't run away from it because I knew that my stronger self was on the other side of that darkness. So what I'm saying is, if the dark thoughts tear you down, that's okay. Choose different thoughts, different emotions. But if there's more power for you on the other side of that dark thought, feel it. Because the real thought inside of you is that I'm stronger than this thought. I can face this hell. I'm going to get to the other side of it. Let's go, motherfucker. And then you get through it. And that's Jesus in the Garden of Eden. Not the Garden of Eden, sorry. Garden of Gethsemane. He was in the Garden of Eden too. He told him to eat that fruit. Oops! Shouldn't have told you that. It was a secret you're not supposed to know. Sorry, guys. I shouldn't have told you that. That's a secret the church don't want you to know. Oh, no, the Illuminati's going to come after me. They don't come after me. I'm their leader. But when Jesus was in the Garden of Gethsemane and he was crying, he wasn't crying. He was saying, he was saying, Father, if it be thy will, let this cup pass from me. He was saying, I don't want to drink this cup of challenge. And the greater part of him was like, we're going to go through this and we're going to defeat this. Why do you think Satan came to him before he went to the Garden of Gethsemane and tried to tempt him? Satan was his last teacher. Satan was like, hey, man, all right, I'm going to give you the whole world. You know, you don't really have to die in supper. I got you. You can rule the whole earth. And Jesus was like, you want me to rule over some motherfucking gummy worms? Fuck you, Satan. Get behind me, man. And he, that's what he told him. He said, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. And God's not up there. God's in here. Jesus said that, right? It is your inner being, is your inner knowing, is your inner genie that tells you how to find perfect health, how to create that perfect body, how to live a full life. You know why people die before age 80? Because their lives are so fucking miserable. They don't want to be here. Why the fuck would you want to be here when your body's falling apart? All the thoughts in your head are fearful and sad and dark, and everybody around you is talking about the end of the world, Jesus is coming, racism, sexism, patriarchy. You're an old fuck. You think you want to live here with that bullshit? Okay. So, perhaps change these patterns. Perhaps choose different patterns. Identify yourself as capable. One of the ways you do that is maybe not getting rid of those dark thoughts, maybe facing them and going through them, or maybe saying to the dark thought, get thee behind me, Satan, like Jesus did, okay? So do what brings you joy, satisfaction, pleasure, and serenity. In summary, and finally, the 5 things to remember to make a perfect body and to live the best life you can possibly live is to return to the first principles. Trust the self-evident truths for you. The second thing is to listen to your body. It knows what works. Not the doctors, not the studies, not none of that, because you weren't in the studies, so they don't know what the fuck is going on with you. Number 3, eliminate toxic thoughts, toxic identities, and then toxic belly filler, okay? All that other stuff will follow it. And then toxic people and behaviors and all that other stuff, right? Number 4, detox naturally. That means necessarily sweating, working out, doing this stuff. Nourish yourself deeply. Put in the good, let out the bad. You should be shitting every day, ladies. I should have talked about that one. But that's whatever, you know. You figure that out. I don't need to be telling you what to do with your body. I'm just giving you some basic principles here. So, nourish deeply, detox naturally. No credentials are needed for you to know that gasoline is bad for you. So apply that to everything else. When you put it in your body, do you feel good? Yes. Okay, continue. And when I'm saying good, your body is elevated. You feel strong. You feel powerful. You feel capable. You don't get niggeritis. Okay? Hey, got a little ant joining me. I love the ants. Flying ants. Hey, beautiful little bird. Bug. Sorry. All right, and then number 5, learn the difference between pleasure and gratification. Real pleasure leads to real health. Real pleasure is orgasmic, not getting your rocks off. Adults know the difference. Sorry. Some men know the difference. Most women, unfortunately, y'all don't know how to get there. Y'all don't know how to get to that O. You do know how to get to the O, but you just don't do it. And then you blame us men. It's not our fault, ladies. Well, sometimes it is. Sorry. Some men, one pump chumps. All right. So anyway, those are the 5 things. And then 6, and finally, aging is a scam. It's bullshit. And I can prove it to you just by saying this. You don't need to study. And there are lots of studies that demonstrate this about the telomeres and on the caps and all this stuff, in caps on the chromosomes and all this stuff. And you know, all this stuff. I'm going to talk about it. But just think of it this way. Your genetics is not determining your aging. Oh yeah, what it is? All that fucking bullshit. There are people with your same genetic basis and origin that are like no wrinkles, happy, beautiful bodies, doing great. Okay, there's your proof right there. You don't need anything other than that. So thank you guys for watching, joining, liking, sharing, subscribing. That's what I have to see. At the end of everything, do what feels joyful, satisfaction, pleasurable, and serenity based. Listen to the inner genius. That's what the Bible is talking about. And also get your copy of Hey God, Wake the Fuck Up, Bible wisdom for real people about real life and real you. You're not here to follow fads. You're not here to follow any bullshit. You're here to you're not here to obey experts. You're here to listen to the Most High as the Most High speaks within you. God will always lead you to pleasure, joy, peace, power, purpose, and away from bullshit. All right. So you're here to awaken that divine intelligence. Make sure you grab your copy of Hey God, Wake the Fuck Up. All right. It's a manual for sovereignty. All right. Radical clarity, irreverent truth. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Send this to someone who's ready for this message. Thank you for watching. Stay Apex.